Welcome back. Maw-shawl, chapter 9, The Way of Wisdom. Alright, so here we go. Wisdom hath built herself a house. She hath hewn out 7 pillars. Now, I did look this up. There is a Wikipedia page for the 7 pillars of wisdom, but it's a autobiography for a war general from Great Britain. Well, let's see. We'll look it up, bro. Here it is, the 7 pillars of wisdom, and it's for the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire. So it's not the wisdom what we want, or that I would recommend. This is man's wisdom, and we know from Proverbs and Psalms what man's wisdom is. So, you're more of like Oprah. This would be his lived experience, right? See, it says the title comes from the book of Proverbs. Wisdom hath built her house. She hath hewn out 7 pillars. Proverbs 9:1, King James Version. Before the First World War, Lawrence had began working on a what is this?
Scholarly,
yeah, I was gonna mess it up. Scholarly book about 7 great cities of the Middle East, which it wasn't in the Middle East at the time. So, anyways, but that's another story. To be called the 7 pillars of wisdom. So I'll leave that in the description box if you want to read more. I don't think it's of importance to the Proverbs right now. Like I said, to me, it's someone else's account of wisdom. So, anyways, let's continue. She hath slain her victims, mingled her wine, and set forth her table. Now that I am confused, so I'll have to look that up and find out what that would mean, because this is wisdom we're talking about, and the only references they're given to that is Esther 1. Oh, look at that. That's a good thing they get it there, right? Well, that's not wisdom, that's Esther. Esther 1 through 9. How can Esther and wisdom be the same? That wisdom was there in the beginning with the Most High. Esther was a living, breathing woman, born by a woman from her father, right? So that is interesting. And I wonder what Ezekiel 4:6 through I'll have to go back on this and figure that one out. Why those were given as references for this portion. Well, references for 6 through 16. Anyways, all right. So she hath set her maidens to invite, or she has sent her maidens to invite to the tower and to the walls of the city. Whosoever is a little one, let him come to me. And to the unwise she said, come, eat my bread, and drink the wine which I have mingled for you. Forsake childishness, and live, and walk by the ways of prudence. He that teacheth a scorner doth injure to himself, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Okay, so that's like one of those things where, like you have a friend, and your friend's being cheated on, and you tell your friend, hey, this person's cheating on you, right? depending on the person, they get pissed at you for telling you that the person they're interested in is doing them dirt, right? And you're like, I'm just looking out for you. I just want you to know this person's no good for you. You know, I don't want to see you get hurt. But they don't see it that way. It's like, how dare you, you know? And what you could be saying was absolutely true, and it could have, you know, you could have all the evidence to prove it, but it'll still turn on you. And that's why you'll see like a lot of people just let this person get played, and then be like, oh well, I'm here for you. I'm here for you now, because they've learned. You point out that they're being cheated on. That, you know, they'll turn on you, not the person that's, you know, done the wrong. And it takes a while for them to come to that realization. So that's how I read that the scorner, you know, getting upset, and the wicked person, you know, getting himself a blot, you know. So rebuke not a scorner, lest he hate thee. See, rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. There you go. See, you got to know the person, right? You got to know. Like, I mean. You know, my relationship with Arthur Scott, you know, my sister, my big sister, you know, like, they could tell me when I'm wrong, and I'm not gonna be like, who are you? I want to understand where they're coming from and see why they, you know, are coming to me when showing me, hey, look what you said this in this video, you were wrong, or was this really the case? You know, because I'm always telling myself in my mind, be humble. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the biggest things you'll see in this Old Testament. I'm not saying, you know, be meek to where people walk all over you. Not that. I'm saying have some humility about yourself, where somebody can come to you and say, hey, you were wrong. And you look at the evidence and you can assess. You might be right. Or they might be right. See what I'm saying? Always keep that in mind. The Most High does not like the proud. And like I said, I'm not saying, you know, be meager, where someone just says, hey, you made this point in this video, you were wrong. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, you're right. Like, all right, for example, I'm trying to find this, I had this image, and I saved it, and I just can't find it right now. And it's been a while, so I'm trying to figure out how to word it. But it was this, how do you explain this? I had found this image of this triceratops, right? It had the humanoid body of a person, and the upper face of a triceratops, or a rafter. And I found it, and I was reading about it, and it was like, oh, Christopher Columbus, when he came to the Americas, you know, to Mexico, he found this amongst the Aztecs, right? That there was these humanoid reptiles that were like dressed in, like, you know, garments and stuff like that were here on this land. And that led me to reading about like this island of monsters that he describes in his diaries. And I was like, oh, this is too fantastic. This is a bunch of BS. I'll let it go, blah, blah, blah. And now I need that picture to be able to pull up this article to prove a point now, and I can't find it. And it's like, oh. So right now, people are getting their wins. Oh, Christopher Columbus didn't see no dinosaurs. Christopher Columbus didn't see no monsters. When I get the evidence again, checkmate. So, anyways, and I ain't talking about this diary. I'm talking about, like, this was amongst the Aztecs. Anyways, so getting back to this. Give an occasion to a wise man, and wisdom shall be added to him. Now, am I using that wrong? The word occasion has multiple meanings, including a special event or a time. Oh, okay. Teach a just man, and he shall make haste to receive it. The fear of the Ishi is the beginning of wisdom. There you go. There you go. And knowledge is the whole is the holy. Why did I read the? Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm reading that wrong. And knowledge of the holy is prudence. There you go. I read that wrong. There you go. Like a tongue twister for me. For by me shall thy days be multiplied, and the years of life shall be added to thee. So there, you want to live a long life? Fear the Ishi and search for wisdom. They go hand in hand. And search for knowledge. So I wonder if that's where that Jesus whole piece comes from. Study to show thyself worthy. Study to show thyself approved. If it's really Maw-shawl, Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 10. I think that's going to be the thumbnail. Let's see. For by me. If thou be wise, thou shalt be so to thyself. And if a scorner, thou alone shalt bear the evil. See? Ooh. A foolish woman in charmers. Let me see. Let's look that up. Clamorous. So I read that wrong. A foolish woman in a clamorous and full of arguments, and knowing nothing at all, set at the door of her house. So oh my gosh, think about this, guys. We're in the year, quote unquote, we're just in the year that we're in, all right, and so-called 2025, and things have not changed, right? She's clamorous, she's argumentative, and she knows nothing. That's the foolish woman. But you tell her that, but you see that almost everywhere. Like I'm here on YouTube and I'm listening to these guys, these videos of, these reviews of, of dating and how tough it is, and they're like, there's just three of them. They do these ones over and over again, and they just pull videos from TikTok. That's all they do, is they just critique videos from TikTok. Like one guy's from Australia, the other guy's from Spain, and the other guy's here in America somewhere. And they just, and it's like, every day they never run out of content. These women say the dumbest things, and they act like they're giving you knowledge. They act like they're giving you wisdom. It is crazy. I'm like, I had to stop watching them because it's torment. And I know, look, no, I know there's forms of torment out there, pulling people's fingernails off with a pair of pliers, slowly. That's what it feels like to me. Listening to chalk, nails on a chalkboard. That's what it is. I just want to yell, shut up, shut up, shut up. It is so bad. And here they are, described right here. Verse 13. A foolish woman and a clamorous and full of arguments and knowing nothing at all. It's just amazing. And they try to tell you there's no manual to life. This whole book is a manual. It is literally, this is how one side is wisdom, this is how the other side is foolishness. Now how are you going to program yourself? Which program are you going to be? Which program are you striving for? It's unbelievable. Let's see. 14. Sat at the door of her house upon a seat in a high place of the city, to call them that pass by the way and go on their journey. He that is a little one, let him turn to me. And to the fool she said, stolen waters are sweeter than hidden, they split the word hidden up. Bread is more pleasant. And he did not know that great giants are thee. And he did not know that giants are thee. I don't understand that. Clearly, I don't understand that. And that her guests are in the depths of the hell. Parables of Solomon, or I forget how you say his name. So, I mean, I'm sorry about the way that ended, but I mean, it's a it's a good proverbs, and there's other ones like me and my sons and I. Excuse me, we read a proverbs a day as part of our studies. So I actually learned something in one of these that I never caught before, and so that's why I like going over this, because you think you know, and then there's one that pops up and it says something. But we're gonna get to it. There's like one where it talks about inheritance, and it's like, oh my goodness. There's a verse where it's like the wise man leaves nothing for his children, but for his grandchildren. And I was like, oh, is this what we were supposed to be doing this whole time and we didn't even know it? And then your mind starts to wonder other stuff, like, when it talks about the time when we leave this country, the Northland, right? That you're going to leave with the riches of Egypt. I've always debated, all right, is that the people? Because read the book of Proverbs, Psalms, the children are the inheritance of the Most High. And that is more valuable than gold and silver. So was it the children? Is it the people that are leaving that are the riches of Egypt? Is it literally gold and silver? What's his name? Montezuma's gold. Is there a trust that's been set up that goes to a certain generation when it's time to leave here? So your mind wonders, but it's like, that was there this whole time. How did I miss that? So